Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Chat. I'm your co-host Nika.
And I'm Ebony Monique. And we have a lot going on today, especially from you guys who have just been emailing us and messaging us about topics and so forth. And so I want to kind of just dive right into a very important question that we got asked about last week.
Yes.
Regarding success of an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I guess this is someone who's branching out into that realm of her life right now, and she's maybe a little discouraged because it is.
Okay.
It's starting off and everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she wants to know, how do you find success as an entrepreneur, and how close are you to it? How do you know when you're getting close to that?
So how do you define success? So I, as an entrepreneur, am learning how to celebrate small successes. Because I think sometimes we look forward to that big pie in the sky sort of thing, that we lose focus on, sort of where those small milestone opportunities to celebrate. And those are important. Yes. That's important because it keeps you from getting down in the dumps or discouraged, which it sounds as if maybe this person is getting a little discouraged. But you gotta recognize those victories, even if they're incremental. And I would also say, if you have a strategic plan, a lot of times we just kind of go at it, and we don't write things down. But if you have a strategic plan, a real strategic plan, and it doesn't take much to create a strategic plan. It's your strategy, it's your plan, it's your, purpose, it's your business. And then go back and reflect. Look back to see, hey, I did do that. You check those boxes. I did. Okay, I'm getting there, and then it's always nice to have some sort of advisory council or somebody else who can also review your strategic plan and say, hey, you did do this. You said you were going to do that. You did it. And don't forget, you said also by this day and time you were going to be here, and where are you in that? So I think it's important to even celebrate the little things, like and not to get too overworked when you don't get that big.
That's a good point. Just making sure that you keep those habits that you did when you were working for someone. We had to do PDPs, personal development plans. So make sure you do that for yourself. That way you're holding yourself accountable for how you succeed and what you grow into and how you enhance with your company and within yourself. Now for me, I think it just depends on the individual. So success to me is not monetary.
Right.
So I don't know if that's maybe what she may be alluding to. It's a big difference when you're working for yourself, because the money you bring in is the money that you have to go and seek out to get. It's not what your earning is going to be every 2 weeks or every week or however you were getting paid.
You gotta hustle.
You gotta grind. But for me personally, I was someone, and I told this story numerous times, I was someone who was conditioned to not to believe in working for yourself. We were conditioned to believe you work for someone because that way you have stability. Yes, you grow up, you go as high as you can up that corporate ladder and get to the top as high as you can, but you still need that stability. You still need, that the benefits package.
Benefits.
And that every 2 weeks, no matter what, you get a paycheck, right? So, it was something for me where I was just doing my own thing on the side while I'm working, and I did just that. I worked hard. I worked graveyard shifts. I worked 2 different positions with no pay, just to keep climbing and climbing and climbing. And it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm climbing, I'm doing your work for you, my boss, and I know more than you know. And I'm missing my family events. I'm missing my family, outings and stuff like that. I'm missing important events and recitals, whatever. But you're going home and being able to be with your family, eat dinner with your family. And I'm getting paid a wage for that. That's not even what I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? So when it kind of started clicking and hitting me with that, I said, dang, this ain't really right.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't really right.
Right.
It's not right. And so I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, and including oh God, his name just escaped me. Our boy, who said that you need 7 incomes to become a millionaire. Buffett.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I was listening to him one day, and he said, you know, do you belong to the 40-40-40 club?
Mm-hmm.
If you work for someone, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what's the 40-40-40 club? Am I VIP?
Right.
No, I do VIP, you know. But the 40-40-40 club, and it's, you know, you work 40 hours a week for 40 years, so you can retire and get only 40%
Mm-hmm.
of your earnings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true.
And I got to thinking, like, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was missing so much valuable time with family on holidays and everything. So for me, my success is measured at, okay, now I'm married with children. I'm able to watch my children grow up because my schedule is flexible.
Right.
Okay, I can watch them grow up. I can watch their milestones.
Mm-hmm.
I can, you know, be home with my husband. He can have a hot cooked meal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy.
Right.
It's peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm not working those 16 hours a day a lot of times.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you don't have
to
the right.
evaluate what, you know, is
What's
best
important.
for you, what's
Mhm.
important for you, and are you achieving what you set out to do?
So, and I think that her second part of her question was, how do you know when you are getting to that point of success?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best way to answer that is by saying when you're happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, peace of mind is valuable.
That's it.
So, homegirl, keep on pushing. You're doing the best thing that you can do. That's being your own boss, being an entrepreneur. I mean, to me, again, it's the best thing I could have done.
I agree.
I
agree.
She's encouraged me along the entire way. So, get a friend like this.
An accountability partner, too.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right, girl. That was so sick. All right, girl. So, let's move on to some old juicy stuff, okay? So, one of our other viewers emailed us, okay? She's single and mingling.
Okay.
And she's dating.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting a little discouraged because a lot of her dates that she's been on, they are requiring her to pay.
What?
Yeah. She said she's been on a couple. Yeah, you heard me.
Wait.
Okay.
So a lot of her dates.
A lot of her
dates
dates.
been on. So not just one date that she's dated consistently, but multiple dates
Underline a lot.
are requiring her to pay the bill
or go Dutch.
Or
listen,
go Dutch.
let me tell you something. I've been married for 5 years with my husband for 7. You've been married for a while now. Maybe that's the new norm. So her question to us, and then for us to ask you all, is that, is it okay for the woman to pay on the first date?
Oh, no, not the first date. I'm sorry.
There you have it. Next. No.
The first date?
Yeah, the first
Now, did she ask him to go out?
I didn't ask that.
I mean, because that.
But even at that,
it just may matter a little bit to me.
Okay.
If she said, "Hey, do you want to go out?" But if he is somebody who calls himself liking her and pursuing her, then I think he should have. I mean, the first day he definitely should have paid. What?
Yeah, or maybe it could have been like some kind of like makeup or something, or hookup between friends. I don't know. But listen, I'm married. I still don't pay when we go on the date. So
you can pay sometime for Rico on a date. Now, I do think if you're
he gets birthday gifts.
Okay, listen. Sometimes when it's not his birthday, I do think it's okay sometimes to pay. Okay. Because I think men like to be treated and, you know, pampered and all of that too. So I think it's okay sometimes if you're dating and you've been hanging out with somebody and they've treated you nice and taken you to places and you've had fun and you want to, you know, show them a good time. Yeah. I think it's okay to me. That's good stuff sometimes.
But like, what date number is that?
Oh wow, I don't know. Do you
Is
put
that
a
date
number
3
on it?
or date 40?
Well, it could. What if you guys? What if he took you out straight for 7 days straight, right?
Mhm.
Just winding down you
Right.
for 7 days straight. I might on the 8th day, like, you know what, babe, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it. I would do that. I would do that. No. It's okay sometimes. I don't think the first date should be it unless you asked him out, unless you pursuing him or something like that.
Well, that's a whole nother question, because I don't think that women should pursue men like that.
Well, I say go for it.
I don't think women should pursue men. I don't think women should ask for a man's hand in marriage.
Oh no.
Oh, they're doing that.
Oh yeah, they are. But I mean, I think it's okay. I do.
No, that's never okay. Okay.
It's quite all right. I think it's 2017.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, okay.
I mean, you got girls dating girls and boys dating boys. So hey.
Okay.
Surely if you are.
Now you like hit me with so much.
I'm trying to
comment on everything.
It's different now.
It is
you know
different.
what I mean?
It's very different. But I think, okay, so let me ask this question to you. What are you ordering on the first date?
Oh my gosh.
Are you ordering like lobster, steak, shrimp, scampi's? I mean, everything. And he's like, oh, no, you got to pay for that yourself? Is that what's happening? You are too expensive?
No, I mean,
that maybe
I think
what it
that
is?
a man should, if you ask a woman out, right?
Yes.
I think, and I tell my sons this, you go to the restaurant that you can afford.
That you can afford,
okay?
absolutely.
So if you can't afford to pay for lobster and all of that, then don't take her to the restaurant that
serves lobster.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, see, and I mean, I feel that way too. I told you my list. Women should not ask a man for marriage. Don't pay on the first date. Don't kiss on the first date. You can hug.
You got a lot of don'ts.
I do. Because we are queens.
I understand.
The men are the hunters.
Okay.
So you gotta hunt me, but I ain't gonna just be standing there for you to shoot me. You gotta chase me, honey. When you go with your gun in the woods and you hunting, the deer just stand there and say, "Oh, shoot me." No, they don't.
You want to be pursued.
You pursue. So you pursue me. Because I'm worth it.
But so then when do you show the person who has worked so hard to pursue and hunt that you appreciate them? When do you do that?
When you ask to marry me and I say yes.
Oh, that's it? I was going to say, you'll never get that.
I said yes.
There you have it.
No, I'm really joking, but I mean, I do have an issue with a lot of these men, and it's so funny because a quick story is that when I was, dating, I have a lot of bad date stories. But I dated a guy, and we went out to a restaurant in Shaker. It's no longer there. It's not Zanzibar. And it was his choice for us to meet there. Mm-hmm. And what he did first was a red flag. The waiter came over, asked for our order, and he ordered first. Red flag number 1. Like, no, I order first. But anyway, he ordered his food. It was like the shrimp pasta or something like that. And then even got him a shot of Henny. Okay, so he was ready. So the waiter looks at me, and as I'm beginning to say my order...
He did not order for you. No, he didn't.
Not only did he order for me, honey, he said, "Oh no."
What year was this?
He said, "Oh no, she's fine."
Whoa. You are making this up.
Right hand to God.
He said you were fine?
He said, "Oh no, she's fine. She has a glass of water and we'll share the shrimp pasta." I think it was shrimp. It was something that was like a shareable meal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you say?
So I didn't say anything. What I did was, I said, "I'll be right back." I went to the restroom. And I exit stage left and went home.
Did you?
Yes.
You left from there?
I did.
Did he call you?
He called like 30 minutes later. Like how long did it take you to realize I was gone? Yeah. And so, when he called and asked where I was and what happened, I said I left because, dude, like I'm hungry. And I wanted a ginger ale. I didn't want water.
Now that's hilarious.
You get Henny, I get water. How's that fair? So So he was really upset with me, and he said, well, you know, I thought it would be fine because, you know, my finances are this and that and whatever, and I got a big meal for us to share together. I can't eat all this pasta by myself.
He should have asked that. He should have said before you got there, you know, I want to really take you out. Is it okay if we share a plate?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have went, would you?
I wouldn't have went, but...
Right, but I'm like, how do you do
he could have said that and been honest. Because, you know, I would have said, you know what?
Don't worry, I'll pay for mine, maybe.
No, I wouldn't have said that either. But I would have...
There's no way to win.
No. For me, it would have been... I could have said gas. I probably would have said, you know what? Let's maybe just hang out and go shoot pool.
You should have just met for coffee. You know, that's when you just guys. That's just when you meet for coffee. Like, that's it, fellas. We drink coffee.
Picnic basket, make a couple deli sandwiches.
Yeah, he should have asked his mama, auntie, or sister, or somebody. What should I do? I want to take her out now.
And then how he got so defensive, and then now I look back on it, it was probably about 12 years ago now. And I look back on it. What was it, 12 years ago? It wasn't. It was like 9 years ago. It was pretty recent. Yeah. And he was really upset at me leaving. Now maybe that wasn't a more mature thing to do, was to leave. I maybe should have gave him an explanation first of why I was leaving.
Well,
I still would have left, but you know.
I think he got what he deserved.
He did. And I hope he's doing well. I don't know. I haven't seen him or anything or heard anything from him.
Next time he has to share a plate.
He pursued me for a long time.
And then wanted to share the plate.
He pursued me for a long time. He did. And he got his Henny, honey. Henny on the rocks.
Horrible.
So, again, don't pay on the first date. If you do, then you can use my move. Church finger. Go to the bathroom and exit. Don't do that.
But
because
ladies,
that sets the precedence.
But feel free to show your appreciation later on down the line.
On date 40.
Not maybe date 40.
Yeah, date 40.
Let's move on.
That's after Lent. You good? Alright, sorry. Alright, so our next question that's burning up our inbox is something that's pretty controversial. Okay, so we've heard of, I know, we've heard of stay-at-home moms, and that's pretty much what we are, along with our businesses as well. But the new trend the last few years has been stay-at-home dads. And that's, you know, with us women being bosses and corporate leaders and so forth, we, you know, we manage corporations, so we have to be gone from the home. And so we make enough money to have the dad stay at home with the kids, no daycare needed. So what do you think about stay-at-home dads?
Well, you know, I say to each his own. However, I mean, I guess it's okay if, you know, if that is what is conducive to your household. But I think that then this is just me. This is my own personal feeling.
Okay.
I think that I would feel some type of way.
Yes.
If I came home every day from work and my man, I would want my man to be the provider in my home. I mean, and that's just me. And now, I don't knock anybody who chooses differently for themselves. Because I know, you know, people have to do what they have to do to make their households run. Yeah. And so in this day and age, I know that women, you know, can make, you know, far more. They can earn far more than a man. And they can be breadwinners, you know. And sometimes you got to step back and see, you know, in terms of dynamics, what makes sense, what works. You know, financially, somebody has to, you know, take care of the kids. You know, everybody can't be at work for, you know, 300 hours a week. Yeah. So I get it. Yeah. But for me, you know, I just would want to feel like, you know, that my husband, my man is a provider.
Yeah. So then the second part of that question would be, so are they not providing because they're not going out and doing the labor and bringing home the bacon and the finances? Because, you know, as we always say, being a mom is very hard, especially a full-time mom when you're like there through everything, right? So the dad is then there So are you saying that's not part of the whole being the provider?
I would definitely want my husband, or partner to be a good dad. I would want that.
You're so PC.
I'm just saying.
No, it ain't right. Again, I'm with Nika. I'm not knocking anyone who does that. It's just a difference of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I too, I'm like a laborer.
Right.
Okay? The man who goes out there and he's working and he's grinding, he's bringing home that...
The hunter.
Again, the hunter. With the gun. Right?
Yes.
So, and then just the type of men that I've dated, I don't see them being okay with being
Just
home
staying at
and just
home.
taking care of the kids. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And then how good of a job are they gonna do? Anyway, you know what I mean? Really.
She said that.
I'm saying it because I'm saying it and I mean it. Like, how good of a job? Like, really, can you see coming home after working 300 hours to a raggedy house?
Yeah.
Dinner half made,
Half done.
Clothes everywhere, the kids
Noodles burnt.
Right. Like, no, I would lose my mind.
But there are actually male nannies. So obviously some men are doing some great things.
And maybe there are some men.
I don't know. I'm with you on that one though. I'm not I understand the whole I have the best job and you're the one who has to sacrifice and do that.
Yeah, my husband is like, did y'all eat?
I like the man with them hard, greasy hands because
Right.
they've been out working
Yeah.
and they come home.
Kingston been ate hot Cheetos all day. Like, no. He said he wasn't hungry. What?
Yeah.
You have to feed him.
And then just to go on the whole, because my mom would say this, the biblical verse.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture says, man don't work, don't eat. It's a man don't work, don't eat. I mean, you gotta work.
So you can eat.
And we won't give you no burnt noodles.
Right.
Or no hot Cheetos. Okay, so you're against it. I'm against it as well. Again, we are not knocking someone who is, and I know we're gonna get some hate mail. So I'm glad we're on the same side for this one because I get all the hate mail for some reason.
Because she's mean.
I'm not mean. I'm real. I am real. Okay, so our last topic that we got is about being with someone for a number of years and not married. So when do you leave without getting that ring?
That's tough. I think that's tough. I do.
How so, Nika?
I think it's tough because
It's not tough. You're making it tough.
No, I think it's tough.
Okay.
Because I guess it depends on, how important it is to you. How important is that ring and that marriage?
Well, the ring is marriage.
Right. So how important is the ring? Because some people get the ring and they wear the ring for 10 years.
They sure do.
So, I mean,
a couple of my family do.
Yeah, I mean, so...
Just shut her up, get her this ring.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how important is the ring and how important is the marriage? How important is that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people, wouldn't be in a relationship or shack up for more than, 6 months to a year.
True.
And then others, people go
Mm-hmm.
for us because I don't know. I remember when I used to say things to my husband about, okay, what we gonna do here,
How long y'all together before y'all got married?
Not very long.
Okay.
We
weren't together.
Wasn't long. Maybe a year, 2 years, year and a half, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't date a very long time. But he would always say to me, we are already married. And I'll be like, no, we're not.
Right.
No, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember, though, when we went to be counseled by our pastor, he told us, you're already married.
Mm.
You guys have already entered into
a covenant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're already there. All you're missing is, just having the vows and, exchanging and doing it, the formality.
Right.
And so I was like, sitting there when the pastor said it, like, but my husband will always say, we're already married. We're already married. So, but whatever, I do what you need me to do to move this thing.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's how I was like, no, we're not.
Right. Well, I think too, it depends on age. Okay, so like for me as well, Rico and I were together 4 months before he proposed, and a total of a year and a half before we actually got married. So I think when you get to a certain age, you already know.
Yeah.
I mean, after like 5-6 months, you should know this person or not. I mean, that's real talk.
Yeah.
You know, now if you've been dating this guy since you were 19 years old and are like you're 22, that's 3 years, but I'm not saying get married that young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on your age and then your level of maturity as well.
For sure.
Now, if you're 30 and over and you've been with somebody for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years,
Well,
he's not going to marry you.
True.
He's not going to marry you. You know why? Because you're already behaving as his wife. Ooh, I just hit you with that. You already are behaving as his wife. You can't do that.
Maybe he believes that you already are.
You know? Because you're behaving as his wife, though. I'm sure you're cooking for him. You're making sure you probably got joint accounts together. You're living together.
We do all of those things.
You're doing all the married things.
We do.
But you're still single because you're not really together until you're married. Like, you're still single. Okay, because you've been with her for 10, 12 years, you're still going to check single.
That's right.
On the application.
Yeah.
Your health insurance, you're still single.
Yeah, and
life insurance.
And that's what I was going to say. But the thing that I think about, too, is, you know, if something happened, you know, if you've invested all of this, you know, time and sometimes finances and, you know, assets, and then something, you know, happens to the individual and you just kind of left, you know. I mean, and I've seen, I have friends who have, you know, made sure that, you know, they, even with the boyfriend, they were straight. So, you know, it just depends, but that's a tough one.
Listen,
you know,
it ain't tough. If you've been with him too long and he keep giving you an excuse after excuse after excuse, bye. He ain't gonna marry you, girl. And then if he marry you, he gonna do it just because to shut you up.
But at least they married.
Yeah, but he don't want to be married.
Yeah, you want somebody, and that's the thing.
You
want somebody to marry you who wants to marry you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be giving people ultimatums.
Right. Because he gonna still do unmarried things while he's married, like cheat.
It's hard.
It is
I
very
think
hard.
It's hard, especially because, you know, I believe in love and soulmates, and, you know, I would just hate to think that you would miss out on somebody that you were destined to be with because
you're not destined to be with him if he won't marry you.
But for men, it's, you know, some men really do need time.
But how much time?
I don't know. It's different. It's different for some men. Everybody, you know, it definitely takes. And I know some women who need time. You know, I know some women who need time. I have friends who have long engagements. And it's not because the man won't. It's because they're taking their time, you know. So I don't know. I just think.
But then I'm gonna tell him she ain't the one.
Oh, it works both ways, huh?
Yeah, it do. It really, to me, it does, because listen, so much can happen. I mean, you get older. Okay, I don't want you to get older and then be like, okay, well, I don't want to be alone, so let's go ahead and get married. It's not genuine. That's what happens. Or you wasted 10, 12 years and then be like, you know what, I really don't want this. Because that happens too. So now you were 40, now you're 52, 55, starting over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I think when you hit a certain point in your life, if that's your goal, now if your goal is just to date and be happy and live married, then that's different. But I'm saying, like, if your goal is to settle down and be married and have children and do all of that and have a white picket fence and have a dog, maybe a cat too, maybe even a little bird, then don't compromise. Don't let that man compromise you. Because they will, right, and they will brainwash you to believe that. And then, you know, wasted so many years of your life. You know, our eggs ain't, you know, our eggs, I'm 35 years old. I had my twins 4 months ago. The entire time I was pregnant, every appointment at the doctor, I was given a paper that said advanced maternal age.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because at 34, 35, that's what we are. See, men can be 70 and 80 and still, you know, producing with their little powdered sperm. Okay? But us, we don't have time like that.
Yeah.
So if that is your goal in life, is what I'm saying, to do that, don't give it up because you think he the one and you waiting for him to get ready. Don't do it.
Yeah. Hey, you guys have a lot to think about out here in these streets.
Yeah, in these streets. All right, so on a serious note, something's going on. A student from Bowie State. What's going on with that?
Yeah, young man just getting ready to graduate. And I believe he also was in the Army. It was knifed down by another college student from, so apparently this particular student from Bowie State was visiting a nearby campus.
Okay.
And at the bus stop waiting for the Uber, and he was approached and, you know, knifed to death.
Why?
By another 22-year-old student who apparently is a part of some race groups.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, of course, they're having all these conversations on the campuses in Maryland and, you know, nearby Bowie State and the campus that the incident actually occurred on, about, you know, safety for minority students. And, you know, just sort of the climate. And apparently the college has seen an increase in sort of race-related incidents since Trump has been in office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's made it where they don't have to hide anymore. I mean, they kind of came out of hiding and began to come out of hiding a couple years ago, but they're definitely not. I mean, they're throwing the rocks and not hiding their hands now. So did the guy get caught? Is he arrested?
Yeah, he was arrested.
Okay.
He's charged with murder. 22 years old.
Just for no reason. I mean, just because. Was he
because
drunk or?
They did say that he had been drinking. They did the article that I read did say that he had been drinking, but that he had approached. It was 3 gentlemen who were waiting on the Uber. He had approached them and said, "Move to the left," and or else. And
Oh wow.
the victim did not move to the left, and he was stabbed. But it's just, you know, just heart-wrenching. And here this was a young African-American man who was set
About
to graduate
from college, which,
getting ready
you know,
to graduate.
he's already escaping that statistic.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. You know, can you imagine that? You know, as a mother, you feel like you say, you feel like you've made it. You've gotten your son, you know, to the next level and ready to start his life.
Right.
You know, he's graduated from high school. You sent him off to college.
Yep.
He's getting ready to graduate from college, and you know he's in the military. You know,
wow.
so making good use of his life. And of course, from what I understand, the family is devastated, and they have unanswered questions. So they're still trying to figure out the particulars. But that the young man who is in custody. Definitely was a part of some sort of race group.
I guess the good news from that, if there is any good news to say, is that he was arrested and hopefully he'll be charged. You know, and there will be justice. It won't be anything.
Right, and then that they, you know, get a handle on these sort of incidents. You know,
yeah, but you can't get a handle on something that you are a part of. Yeah, I said it. I mean, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we see what's going on with all this other stuff, with the black on black crime, and then the movement. It's just the system is part of the problem.
Yeah. It's
So I mean, how can we escape it?
Yeah.
What do we do without being so radical? There we are, gunned down and shot down. And
right. Yeah. You know, just everybody be safe. You know, watch each other's back. You know.
And what kind of time are we living in where we have to keep doing this?
Yeah.
You know,
it's sad, but you
keep doing
unfortunately
that.
you do have to keep doing that. you know, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Don't let people invade your space. And if you can, I know that you know, we do try to, you know, we don't, I don't know. And I would imagine that, you know, this young man was, you know, probably trained. He's in the military. So he probably, you know, was not fearful. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But you got to be smart. You know, we have to be smart. And, you know, I don't be careful about letting people in your personal space. Because you don't know, people are crazy. You know, people are crazy. And alcohol don't help it.
No. It doesn't. Was this during the day or?
It was 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. So, you know, they were...
He might have left the party.
Yeah, they were hanging out and they called the Uber. And they were standing at...
The responsible thing to do.
Right. They called the Uber and were standing at the bus stop waiting for the Uber driver to come up. And they were approached.
Well, we'll definitely follow this story and see what happens. There's so much going on right now in this world that we're living in. So... we just pray and wish for the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, girl. Just really quick, is something funny I gotta tell you. So this lady, I forget what city she's in, but it's kind of like trending on Facebook right now. Well, actually, all social media. She's suing Jelly Belly, which are the makers of the jelly beans.
Oh.
But guess why she's suing?
Why?
Because she didn't know that the jelly beans had sugar.
Is it not on the pack? I mean, no, I'm saying, is she?
Do it have to be on the pack?
Oh, right, but what are they? What is she? What
is a
she
stove
think?
hot? Is the grass green?
But what she has to have a basis for this argument.
Well, I think that's what she's saying, is that there is nothing on the package to say that
it was sugar.
It contains sugar.
Yeah, she might get that one off.
And she's going to win.
That's what I was gonna say. She might get that one off.
Because, you know, there's been so many lawsuits with people who have sued McDonald's. I think one was like Wendy's for hot coffee. You know, because they didn't have like hot on the container.
Yeah. She, as I said, if it wasn't on the package, she may get that one off.
People are something else.
Only in America.
Only in America. Wow. All right. Well, that's it for our show this week. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. And make sure that you continue to tell your friends about us.
Share the episodes. Go on YouTube. Subscribe so you can get the alerts. You want to make sure that you are in the know when we drop our next episode.
Yes. And we are going to be giving away lots of gifts pretty soon.
That's
so you want to definitely be a part of our network.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.